Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Dropstep Network, or I guess welcome to the Dropstep Network for the first time since the rebrand. I am Rashad, and today's freelance video is going to be a pretty light one. Today, I just want to take some time to shed some positive light on a few role players around the Eastern Conference. This will be one of a two-part series. There are three main objectives for today's video. A, I want to shed some light on each of the Eastern Conference teams. B, I want to showcase a role player on each team that I personally enjoy watching or following for a multitude of reasons. Some basketball, most basketball, some won't be. And C, I just want to do a little fun video before we get into the season, which is going to have a lot more serious content. So enjoy the video. Thank you very much for clicking on another one. And I'll see you at the outro. Starting off with the Atlantic Division, we're going to go with the Boston Celtics. And for this team, I'm going to shout out Al Horford. Everyone knows who Al Horford is, a very impactful power forward / center who sticks to his assignments on offense and defense. He is a role player and has been so for about a decade now. His first 8 years of his career, he averaged less than half a three per game. His next 8, he averaged at least 3 per game, maxing out at 45% this past season on 5 attempts per. He kept up with the times and he stayed paid. I have to respect it. Next up is the Brooklyn Nets, and before I name this name, I just want everyone to walk with me here. This is very serious, and this guy shouldn't be a role player at this point in his career, but due to circumstances has become a role player. I'm sure we all know who it is. It's no knock. It just is what it is. We're going to shout out Ben Simmons for the Brooklyn Nets. Personally, because he has been one of my top 10 favorite players in the league, and he has been for some time, for some years. I appreciate his uniqueness on the court and his defensive prowess and everything off the court and fights with GMs and front offices and teams aside. I appreciate Ben Simmons as a player. There's a video coming on this channel pretty soon about Ben Simmons, so I'll leave it at that. But Ben Simmons, you got some supporters out here still. So prove us right, please, because I don't know how much more I had left in me. Next up is the New York Knicks, and for this one, it was almost a no-brainer. I'm going to go with Josh Hart. He is a winning player. He hustles, he's a tremendous rebounder, and he plays solid defense. And I mean, he averaged 8 rebounds a game at 6'4" this past season. His 2K archetype name should probably be two-way rebounding stretch wing. And honestly, that sounds cool as hell. So how could I not like him? Next up for the 76ers is Paul Reed. I wanted to put him on this list solely because of his nickname, B-Ball Paul. Like, yeah, he's a good player. I think he'll have a pretty solid, decent career, but basketball ain't why he's here on this list. Well, I guess technically it is. For the Toronto Raptors, in the midst of a bunch of players with the exact same build, Thaddeus Young is the one that stands out. It is because he is on the most iconic cherry-picked stat graphic that we will probably ever see in our lives as basketball fans. Moving on over to the Central Division. We're going to start off with the Chicago Bulls, and we're going to start off with Alex Caruso. The Caruso, first of all, insane nickname. And look at how he grades as a perimeter defender. Look at the grades, look at the advanced metrics, look at the tape. Look how impactful he is at all 3 levels of defense as a guard. I wanted him in a Nuggets jersey so bad at the deadline last season. I still want him in a Nuggets jersey now. It's a pipe dream, but that man is damn good on the defensive side of the ball, and everyone could use an Alex Caruso. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, this one was pretty simple for me, honestly, in picking it. I'm going to go with Isaac Okoro, and I'm picking him because I personally want him to succeed and prove the doubters wrong. For people that are really into NBA Twitter and have seen some Cavs stuff, you've probably seen that StatMuse graphic of Isaac Okoro shooting 44% from 3 after January 1st of 2023. That's the Isaac Okoro that I hope stays for the next season. Obviously, 44% is a lot, but like if he could hover around high 30s, that would prove a lot of people wrong, and it would give him a lot of value in this league. And I mean, I don't know much about him, but I just want him to succeed. That's all. For the Detroit Pistons, I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Duren. He is a fantastic rebounder, Very strong, very grown man-like for someone who played his rookie year at 18 years old. And he's got some really, really underrated passing ability, which that and rebounding are two of my favorite traits on the basketball court. So there you go. I watched him on the Through the Wire live show, and he really seemed down to earth. So at this point now, because of what he does on the court and how he is as, just a person from the little that I've seen, definitely rooting for him. Definitely want to shout him out. For the Indiana Pacers, I'm gonna have to go with my boy Brucey B, aka Bruce Brown. All of y'all should have seen this one coming. That man helped bring a championship to the city of Denver, so it is forever shout out to Bruce Brown. And aside from, Swiss Army knife, can be a point guard, can be a shooting guard, can play the four, can be a lob threat, can be a roller, all the things that I say about Bruce Brown and all these videos that you've seen are why he's on this list. So shout out Brucey B, enjoy your ring and enjoy your $20 million contract. And to round out the Central Division, we're going to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. And so far, when writing this list out, the Bucks role players were the hardest one to choose a player from because I really have no attachment to any of them. Let's just say shout out to Thanasis for knowing how to keep a job. And to round out the video, we're going to talk about the Southeast Division, starting off with the Atlanta Hawks. AJ Griffin definitely caught my eye last season with his stellar shooting, not even just by rookie standards, but in all of the NBA standards. Like, that man shot 39% on over 3 attempts per game as a rookie. That shit's impressive. I love that. And he also had a few game winners and became the first rookie with multiple game winners since 1994. That's insane. A record-breaking rookie who can shoot the skin off the ball. I have to give him his props. Next up is the Charlotte Hornets. And I even want to give any props to this organization in general. It has been a shit show for a little bit, and it hasn't really gotten any better this summer. So, for thoroughness' sake, obviously we're going to have to... Never mind. I don't want to. I'm not going to. The Orlando Magic. I made a whole ass video about them, and yet the guy that I picked for this video wasn't really mentioned in that other one. Give me Gary Harris. The Nuggets ties, the Nuggets bias. I had to flex it at least a little bit on this list before we get into the Western Conference version of this video. Shout out Gary Harris. We appreciated your time with Denver, and you really helped build something cool. So hopefully you get some sort of ceremonial ring, perhaps. I don't know how that would work, but shout out to you, my boy. The Nuggets finals counterparts. I really, really respect this team, as does a bunch of people on Nuggets Twitter. For the Miami Heat, though, I specifically want to highlight Haywood Highsmith. He is a versatile, hard-nosed young wing that fits what Heat culture is supposed to be. Put up some really impactful games this past season and in the postseason, and I appreciate his style and his play and his tenacity when being asked to be a 6'5" power forward. So shout out you, Haywood Highsmith. And last, but actually probably maybe least, is the Washington Wizards. And I'm kind of upset that Jordan Goodwin isn't a Wizard anymore, because I definitely would have highlighted him. Instead, though, let's say hello to Daniel Gafford. Always love picking him up in the My League runs because he's cheap and can rebound and can defend the rim. That's all you need in a center in that game. And he's also got an insane highlight clip to his name. And if y'all don't remember, here's a reminder of this insane alley-oop that he finished off.
Comes up with it. Kispert trying to throw it. How did he do it?
If you throw it up to him, throw it up high. And if it gets too high, he has to turn on the boosters, and right there, catching it way.
For those of you that made it all the way to the end, I want to thank you very much. You are really appreciated. And I just want to say welcome aboard the ride. We are taking a much different path to the content than we have been for the past couple of months. So I just want to say, again, thank you very much for everyone who's been here so far with not with this video, but just the channel in general. We got a lot of things coming up, and I'm really excited for this rebrand. So thank you very much for sticking through. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Peace out.